like him more every day.
That is obvious, but perhaps dangerous.
Dangerous?
To like something too much. Where will you ride today?
On the North Ridge.
Again? The 4th day in a row.
I enjoy it, Father.
Querida, you are all I have in this world. You must know how much you mean to me.
I love you, too.
Then think of the trust that rests with you. All the generations that have gone before. If you love me, think what you do to me. If you continue to see this young man...
I don't know what you think or why. I've done nothing wrong. I will do nothing wrong. You'll have to take my word for it.
Querida.
I know who I am. I know what we are. But in these times, you must realize there are other families, such as the Barclays, that are as honored and respected as ours.
You don't have to try and look inside. I'll tell you anything you want.
I don't know anything about you, really. Anything.
Well, you call it, I've been there. You name it, I've done it.
Like what?
Well, like digging for wages on the Mother Lode, fishing for salmon and crab off the Golden Gate, J.U. to down-country stage for 6 months, and then scouted Apaches for a wagon train. Of course, after that, I had some tough jobs like...
Why? Your father was rich.
Yeah, he was rich, all right.
Then why did you have to work so hard? Heath?
I'd rather talk about you.
There isn't much.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't sell me that. Back east somewhere in some la-di-da school. All those dudes in fancy coats. And all those parties and things.
And loneliness. And crying yourself to sleep. And feeling lost because you didn't belong someplace. Someone. Waiting for someone to come along. Someone big and strong.
Well, I'm big and I'm strong.
And handsome, I'd say. If the light's not too strong. You know, you look like your mother. You do, you really do. It's the eyes, I think, or...
You never saw my mother.
But Mrs. Barclay.
Is not my mother. Tom Barclay and my mother were never married. And you don't have to look if the light's too strong.
The light's just right. And I find you very attractive. A bit short-tempered, perhaps. Please. It's too new. It's too quick.
It's all the way right.
Miss Barkley say, won't you come in, please?
Ah, gracias.
Don Alfredo, how very nice.
Senora.
As my husband used to say, something to settle the dust.
Thank you, nothing.
Well, then.
No, if you don't.
I've had word from my son Jared in San Francisco. He confirms what you told me about the land grant. He said the court will enter formal judgment today.
Yes.
Well, then we have nothing to discuss, if you're so sure to win.
There are other things.
The land we sold to Mr. Hadley and the others? Well, you always led us to believe you'd sell the homesteads back to us. And I hope you don't drive too hard a bargain.
No, perhaps we do not have to bargain at all. Perhaps you need not lose and I need not win. Well, this is a lesson we learned from history. Sometimes the threat of war can be resolved by diplomacy, a strategic union.
A marriage.
Why not? Our properties are close together. They would be joined someday in one great holding. And it would take care of so many other problems. There's 1,600 acres and the rest of the disputed land, which has caused so much trouble between us.
I see. You've discussed this with Maria, of course.
I assure you, Senora, she will do as I say.
And not find it too difficult. It's obvious she was attracted to Heath.
She will marry the other.
And if she wants Heath?
Well, this can be arranged. I know that your family has interests all over the state. You could send him south, shall we say, on business. Keep him away for a year. Young people, believe me, they soon forget.
Thank you for coming.
You do not approve?
What made you think I would?
But why do you risk so much for him? He is not yours.
As much as the others.
But he does not carry your blood.
He carries my husband's.
Senora, I beg you to consider the consequences, not just for yourself, but for the others.
Mr. Hadley and the rest? You've committed yourself to some sort of arrangement.
We will talk arrangements after the boy has gone.
Forgive me, Don Alfredo. I always rest at this time. Silas will see you out.
Why did Nick go into town tonight?
To send a telegram to Jared.
It's certainly taking him long enough.
Perhaps he stopped to socialize.
You mean to have a drink? No, Mother, it's my turn.
Oh.
I wish Heath hadn't gone to bed so early. He always gives me a better game.
Well, Heath gets up somewhat earlier than you do. Perhaps he feels that sleep is more important than cards.
I got something to say.
Mr. Hadley, this is hardly the proper time.
I ain't got time for manners, ma'am. Tom Barkley always kept telling us to plant today and harvest tomorrow. Always figure ahead. Okay, we figured ahead. You know what we harvest? A notice to vacate.
Don Alfredo has the right if the land is his.
It ain't his. It's still with a court. Were you saying that it's finished? That he's won?
But you won't lose. We'll give you other land.
Who's gonna give us back 10 years of sweat and cold and doing without? Fighting the land like it was fighting something live. Breaking it to seed and bush and tree.
We'll give you help.
I don't want no help. I just want what's mine.
We don't know that it's final. We'll have a telegram from Jared tomorrow.
Nick said that everything was going to be all right. He said that Montera had promised to work something out.
He did.
Well, then why did he do this? There got to be some reason. I don't hear you saying nothing. You don't have to say it. We all know what it is.
does it matter?
Of course it matters.
I'll tell you why. It's on account of Maria and me.
Wire came from Jared this morning.
We got any chance?
Jared says the land grant goes back 100 years. No way for us or anybody else to know when we settled in this valley.
Ain't that just fine? We take the short end. 10 years of hard work ground into the dust on account of the Spanish wants to hit Heath.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Hadley.
That ain't too hard to figure. It's all over town. Montero wants to keep him away from the girl, and we're all he's got to bargain with.
I said, wait a minute.
8 of us and 1 of him. And nobody waltzing in here out of nowhere.
Shut up.
And nothing. A mongrel pup sired when your pa was drunk. Hold it! Hold it! The Spanish takes his land, but he gets it just the way it come to us. Bare and dry and nothing on it.